I think what I don't understand about this film is why it exists. I have 16 pages of notes. 16 pages of notes. Stephen Kang's Sharks of the Corn. This film has 1.8 on IMDb. It's that good. It's directed by a guy named Tim Ritter, who also did a film called House Shark, which I haven't brought myself to watch yet because, well, here's a screenshot. Fuck is that? This movie... We open on such a weird scene. There's a man and a woman having a vodka picnic. There's literally no food, it's just like a big ass bottle of vodka and a blanket. He's drunk off his face and she's sitting there in like a got about, just commenting on how drunk he is.
You might want to slow down a little bit there, soldier.
And so eventually, I think she gets bored of just sitting watching him drink, and she decides to go off into the cornfield, and she's like, oh, chase me, chase me. And she comes across this scarecrow that's like sitting against something, and he's got like this rubber shark mask on.
What in the hell?
Okay. When he comes across the shark scarecrow man, he sits on it. He sits on it. What's even happening in this movie? So while drunk guy is taking a nap, pigtail lady is suddenly chased by this big rubbery shark, and I cannot show you the scene because she gets a little bit nude in it, but here's a slightly censored screenshot of what comes next. If I don't die like this, I'm going to haunt all of you forever. So then we meet our next character. There's going to be a lot of characters in the first like half an hour of this film, by the way, and we don't know who any of them are. But the next character is like our main villain sort of thing. I'm just going to call him Shark Guy. He's kneeling at this sort of, in a hotel room, I think, at this shrine. He is worshipping some shark goddess. He goes out into this like foyer area, and he sees this woman who's wearing like a fake black wig, and you know, I think she's like a lady of the night. I don't actually remember him speaking in this scene, but the whole time she just kind of assumes, oh, you want to have sex with me. Takes her back to the room anyway.
Are you looking to party by chance?
She's looking at all of his shark stuff, and he starts pulling these like these really weird faces.
Oh, okay.
And so once he's done kind of like pulling faces at her, he suddenly kills her, and it's so weird, it's so badly done, I just can't. And then of course he takes the body and he dumps it in the cornfield where the sharks are, so we get the feeling that this is something that he does often. And so now we have who I assume is like a sheriff, and then his maybe a deputy. They've come to survey the scene, and they instantly blame the boyfriend because he was drunk.
I'm inclined to believe that you and your brother had something to do with this.
We never see him again. He's just arrested and that's it, you're a murderer, bye-bye.
That's what I'm talking about, Bubba.
And then cut to yet another character, in fact 3 new characters. We get a really long scene next, where there's 2 characters in balaclavas, and they go to this like kind of weird bunker thing in the woods, and there's some people in cloaks who I assume are the shark cult. They kill them, I think, or knock them out. And then they go into this little hangar thing, which isn't remotely secure. And then when they go in there, they steal this little tub of what looks like dish soap with a plastic shark in it. And so they creep off again and go back to this guy sitting in a car, where finally we get some dialogue, but no names or explanation, of course.
Any problems? Not the way you faced in third world shitholes before.
He just basically takes the item from these balaclava guys, gives them a briefcase of what is supposed to be money, and then pulls out a blow dart. Doesn't load it, but manages to fire 2 blow darts out of it and knock the guys out.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Takes the suitcase back and drives off with it. Okay, so now we have another new character. What looks like a heavily pregnant lady going through the cornfield with a torch. And then we cut to this really weird thing that kind of growls like... She's flirting with it?
Come to mama.
She suddenly gets really excited because she thinks that it's Sasquatch, aka Bigfoot. We realise this is an advert and that she's probably not pregnant, and I just realised that. Oh! And then we meet another new character.
All the way!
Who is, in fact, Vodka Guy's brother. We learn that later, but I'm gonna spare you the pain. He is making like a video for like living in Kentucky and you know, buying a cornfield or something, and yeah, just that's it. But for now, we meet another character who I'm gonna call Porn Cop because she looks like a strippogram in a cop uniform. She has hair extensions, she has nail polish, loads of earrings. While she's sitting there just existing as you do, Shark Man randomly pulls up wearing his shark mask and balaclava underneath it and then drives off, and she just kind of goes, well, that was weird.
That looks weird.
She starts to follow him and switches her lights and sirens on, but she doesn't actually have a police car. She has a regular saloon car with a cheap plastic light on top of it. I can't with this movie. As she's talking to him, she spots what I think is the driving license of a woman, but she pulls her gun on him, starts screaming at him to get out of the car in the most overly dramatic way possible.
Get out of the car now!
And then this weird arrest scene happens where he's like wriggling around like he's being manhandled by 20 people, but she's barely touching him, fondly caressing his hand while he's like... Okay, so we're back with Discount Jason Statham, that's what I'm going to call him from now on, where he meets these people who look like Blues Brothers and a baby Beetlejuice.
I don't trust him.
Discount Jason Statham is there to sell the item, which is the shark in goo, to these weird people. We never find out who these people are, by the way. They're just goons of some kind. They don't even seem to understand what's happening themselves.
Nice. All you guys have such great personalities.
They give him, I think, half the money now, half later. He gives them a map to the cornfield where he has hidden the item.
You're on this shit.
Off they go to find the item, and off he goes, and we discover shortly after that that they put a tracker in the money bag that they gave him so they could follow him. So the old guy and the bigger guy get in a helicopter and start chasing him even though he's on foot most of the way. It's really strange. And what's weird about this, we'll come back to this later, but no one notices that this chopper is in the sky or asks questions or anything. Half of the Blues Brothers and the baby Beetlejuice get to the cornfield, pick up the item, and then the rubber shark attacks them. It's such a stupid scene, honestly. I've been trying to find the budget for this film everywhere online and I cannot find it. So if you watch this or you made this, I need answers. How much did this shit cost you?
Impossible. I silenced them all.
Okay. I'm sorry, this next part is so stupid. Cop lady has taken Shark Man to the police station. It's a living room. It has curtains. She's recording the interview with the cheapest like kids karaoke mic I've ever seen.
Kind of a outdated recorder machine you got there, huh?
So he immediately admits to killing all these people. He's really proud of it. It's no big deal to him at all.
And I found dismembered body parts in your vehicle. Are you denying that?
No denial. It's just my work.
So now we get this monologue, which I am absolutely not going to like repeat or play because it's really boring. But basically he bangs on and on about Stonehenge and how Stonehenge gives like this shark goddess of his some powers and blah, 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 blah.
I am one with the great white goddess Chichimato.
Which, okay then, fair enough. Whatever. This scene lasted 8 minutes. Okay, so we're back with Discount Jason Statham, who gets back in his car, and I don't know when this was meant to have happened, but they've messed with his car and it will no longer work. So he blows on his keys. So this isn't a Game Boy. The realtor guy, if you remember, gets a phone call from the sheriff or whoever it is and gets told, by the way, your brother's in jail, Vodka Guy. We don't see Vodka Guy, we just hear about him. And so he goes down to talk to him where the sheriff says, nope, he's in jail, he's staying there.
I bet you were the one phone call your brother Gary did.
I can't believe you're still holding him.
Oh, I forgot to say, by the way, the realtor at some point sees sharks swimming through the cornfield on his drone.
I was videoing some properties with my drone for my real estate videos.
And he tries to tell the sheriff about it by pulling out this laptop from probably about 2008. And he doesn't believe him, he thinks it's CGI.
That looks like there's some clouds in the sky going by, or some crazy false computer imagery.
So now we're back again with Cop Lady, and Sharkman is not there. Another cop comes in with a completely different uniform. By the way, that's 3 cops now with completely different clothing that we've had in this town so far. He sort of gives her a backpack with a handgun, a knife, and a really plasticky toy grenade.
Feel much safer with that.
We don't know what this is yet because no one's told us. And then we get more new characters, because there weren't enough already.
Ray Arbogast, you're gonna get Billy Sunbird if you keep him out here much longer.
I can't understand anyone in this film, and I honestly thought she said, Grandma's making cowboy porn with casseroles.
Grandma's making cowboy cornbread casserole.
I'm pretty loath to show like even just like stupid child deaths on YouTube for obvious reasons, but I'm going to show you a freeze frame to show exactly how ridiculous this film is when it comes to murdering children. That's his head. Cop Lady has gone for a drive to Druid Hills with the killer in the back of the car. I don't know why, but she keeps calling him Teddy Bear.
You better hope you're being straight with me, Teddy Bear.
Flirting. And then he starts doing the weird like
Jesus Christ, what in the name of Randy Travis is going on around here?
Apparently this guy is the mayor. Does the mayor deal with crime? I don't even care, let's move on. Okay, so Cop Lady is driving down the road and runs into, you guessed it, discount Jason Statham.
Hey, you need a ride?
Okay, so they're still chasing him in a chopper.
We're gonna sneak up on him kind of unexpectedly, and then we're gonna bite him in the balls.
Note the microphone. What is this? What is this entire film? One of many insane twists in this movie. Discount Jason Statham is CIA.
Actually, with the CIA. I'm an agent.
I knew there was something about you.
Smart cookie.
Precursor to this, he gives some excuse about how at first they were watching this cult and they were just like conspiracy theorists and whatnot, and then they evolved into a terrorist organization. But just to jump forward a little bit, we find out later that he knew nothing beyond the fact that this cult existed. He didn't know that there were sharks in the cornfields. He didn't know that they were actually physically able to do anything. So he was a CIA agent with no knowledge or intel of the case that he was apparently like investigating. And we've only just found out that the lady at the beginning in the black wig that got killed was actually Cop Lady's sister. Also, why are the clips on his briefcase open? I need answers. Okay, so Cop Lady finally reaches Druid Hills with Jason Statham and Shark Guy in the back of the car. They all get out. She knocks out Jason Statham, and then we have our second twist in the movie. She's in the shark cult. Also, when did she join this shark cult? Because when she saw him, she followed him because of his bandana, thinking about how weird it was. She was alone in the car. She had no reason to pretend that was weird. So where... But anyway... When she pulls out her necklace, he starts pulling faces again. I really want to know why he did this. Like, was he supposed to look like a snarling animal? Or was he deliberately looking like a sex offender?
You were the one all along.
So we find out that Cop Lady joined the shark cult because she believes somehow that she'll bring her dead sister back to life, which tells us, of course, that she might not have joined it beforehand, because why would she? And that's her goal. So what we find out about this item, if you remember, this like plastic shark in a jar of goo, is actually the pup of this shark goddess. If you remember the mayor and the realtor,
Sitting in butter back here myself.
who were talking earlier, they're back now with military grade weapons, just like walking around. Pawn Cop and Shark Man get to the scene, the area where there's like a scarecrow with the rubber mask. Do you remember him from the start of the film? Sharkman digs up her sister, and it's just this plastic skull in a really bad black wig. He gives her this like shark jaw that was apparently in the briefcase that the CIA guy had. I don't even know how he got this, because it was how the gangsters in the helicopter, if you remember them, who the CIA agent has only just noticed are even there, are just suddenly just like, sharks? It's like, you wanted to buy this item, you must have known what it was for. And then we get a really cool scene, which honestly, if more of the film had been like this, it would have been better. He only had $12 for CGI, guys. And then CIA guy was investigating this cult, and then he's just like, sharks?
Shark?
Why is everyone suddenly surprised that there's sharks? Oh, and I forgot to say, the realtor, I think, gets knocked out, but then he comes back, and he and the CIA guy, through this whole next scene, just hide and watch. All they have is the backpack of weaponry that, if you remember, Cop Lady had and left in the car for some reason. So then this whole, like, ritual takes place.
Tonight we come full circle. Everything is aligned for Chichimatul.
She morphs into this rubbery shark queen. Shark man morphs into this rubbery shark man. But then Bigfoot comes out of the corn and does a Star Trek and bonks the shark man over the head. Realtor guy, I think it's a harpoon that he's got, I don't know what it is, but he shoots Sharkman and kills him, and then CIA guy kind of puts the grenade into like the sort of shark crown thing that she's wearing.
Grenade, bitch!
And it blows up the cornfield without killing either the realtor or the CIA guy. Jason Statham and realtor guy hug it out.
Now this is a story for your paper.
And then the film ends. I need a drink. Thank you for suffering through that movie with me. It's all in good fun. If the director and stuff is on here, I wouldn't have watched this film if I really didn't want to, and I certainly wouldn't have spent the time on this video if it was that bad. I love bad movies because they're great to just sit and make fun of. So if you did like that, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment with which part you thought was the weirdest or craziest or worst part that you can think of, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. So I'll see you next week. Bye!